Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Jody Curtis, and I am a teacher and a reverend of the Science of Mental Physics. Mental physics is a method that is taught. It's where science and spirituality connect. It was brought to the West by Edwin Dingle, who was an Englishman who lived in the Orient for 21 years and studied all types of mysticism. And a mystic is generally known as someone that has had some type of religious experience that they cannot put words to. So, and it's far more well known in the Eastern traditions than it is here in the West. So Edwin Dingle made a caravan to cross China into Tibet. He actually wrote this book, My Life in Tibet, about his journey, which is a really interesting read if you ever get a chance to read that. He's written a lot of books about his experiences in the Orient and these teachings that have been passed down from master to student for years and years. When I was meditating on what to share with you guys this morning, what kept coming up, actually for the last week, is the concept of secrecy. So whenever myself and the other students signed on to take the initiate group course, which is the first chunk of lessons that introduces the 8 key breaths that we're going to be practicing today, he mentions secrecy. And what he's saying is, because we are creators, when we come up with a new idea, or we're learning new things, or we're having new ideas come into our mind, the minute that we speak those or we share those with someone, we open ourselves up to any number of other opinions that can just tank us right down. And a lot of times, it can just kind of damper all the enthusiasm we have for the thing that we're trying to do. And I have found this to be so true. As a matter of fact, I've been working on getting the initiate group course online for years and years, and it kept a lot of it to myself. I didn't even tell anyone, because the energy to do the thing that you want to do can dissipate the minute you speak the words, the minute you tell someone about what you're doing. And I wanted to read a little something about that. So he says, in the West, the importance of secrecy is not realized so clearly as it is in the Orient. Secrecy is an important part of all occult teaching, and it was part of the teaching of Jesus, as you will observe in the following verses from the New Testament. So he says, and immediately his leprosy was cleansed, and Jesus said unto him, see thou tell no man, but go thy way. And then again, and their eyes were opened, and Jesus straightly charged them, saying, see that no man know it. And he goes on and on. He has many, many quotes from the Bible where he speaks of secrecy. And so it says, what occult law was behind this advice, and why was secrecy so essential? Just picture to yourself what would happen if you were healed as these people were, and you told your friends about it. One of your friends might say, it just can't be, it must be in your imagination. Others might say it's just temporarily, or you don't look much better than you did before, or that they know of similar cases where someone was cured and then soon became worse than ever. And these, unfortunately, these are the people that love us the most, that we love the most, and because we care about them, we don't want them to be disappointed with their miraculous healing. So awaiting their chance to say, I told you so. So once these thoughts, because we're creative beings, get into your own head, you would soon be expecting the worst. Your faith would be lost, and whatever you're expecting to happen would happen. So on the other hand, if you kept your healing a secret, your friends would soon notice the improvement in your appearance and wonder what you had done to bring it about. And they might tell you you've changed for the better, and so on and so on. Every word they said would be building up your faith instead of destroying it. So in short, you would be exposed to positive influences instead of negative influence. The all-wise carpenter of Galilee knew that if secrecy were not maintained, the cure could not be maintained. The cure could not be permanent. The faith would soon give way to doubt and discouragement. the patient would soon be worse off than ever, his disease returning because of his very expectation of its return. But in other fields as well, secrecy is all important. If you have any ambition, if you have plans and tell people of them, what happens? They tell you it can't be done, or something else is better, or that your talents lie in other fields, or it's too late, or it takes too long, or it's not the right time. The minute you tell your plans to another, you expose yourself to all the negative influences possible. So everyone will try, based on their own thinking, their own opinion, they'll try to influence you to do something else or do things in a different way. And it's just very easy to become discouraged. So I always think of my creations and the things that I'm working on. It's just like a little baby seed. You just want to nurture and grow and tend to that seed and look after it as it starts to sprout. I mean, it needs to become a strong enough plant to weather the storms, right, before you start spreading that around. So hold on just 1 minute. Elena, did you have a question?
Oh, I thought I hit the button. I had unmuted. I had muted you out. Oh no, ma'am. I had hit the well, probably you got my donation, my small donation. Gosh, you must say. I was going to ask you after, but I hit the wrong button and muted you out. So no, ma'am. I'm just so happy I hit the right buttons.
You're doing great.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, so here we go. We'll get going. Okay, so that's just something I wanted to talk to you guys about, secrecy, so that you can think on it yourself when you're in meditation or after the class or even during the breath work. Just think about that and think how that has affected you in your life in the past, and how it might work for you if you're working on anything inside yourself, to hold that thought sacred, that creation sacred inside yourself, and see what happens. Most of the things that I've been able to create in my later years now, in my 40s, has been a result of not telling everyone about it. I used to just have this bad habit. Whenever I would get an idea, I would go and tell everyone I knew about it. And then, like I mentioned, the energy to do that thing just dissipated with the talking about it. Okay, so to get started with the breath work, we're going to do like we always do and practice the harmonic breath and the 8 key breaths, but I want to go over a few pointers. Teaching yourself to breathe using the diaphragm. So in mental physics, we breathe deep into the belly like a baby breathes. So you might want to, if you can lay down on the ground, and then you'll want to put your left hand up here between your chest and your throat, and then your right hand on your belly with your pinky pointing down toward the navel. And when you breathe in, and it's easier to notice when you're on your back, but when you breathe in, your lower belly should come all the way out. So the air gets forced down into the belly, then into the chest, then into the upper chest, and then you'll hear Dingle or myself say big sniff at the top. And you're just filling your lungs as full as you can with all of that air and retaining that for each of these breaths. So correct breathing is, of course, very beneficial. It says when in an upright position, because of gravity, the majority of the blood is in the lower part of the lungs. So by breathing very deeply, the blood in the lower lungs is exposed to greater oxygenation and allows for a greater amount of the carbon dioxide to be expelled in the exhalation. So not only are we going to breathe all the way in, into the deep belly, big sniff, but when we exhale, we're squeezing all that old air out as well. Okay, so just practice that a few times on your own. And if you can, spend 10 or 15 minutes a day just practicing and getting your body used to breathing in this manner. Big, deep belly breath in, all the way up, big sniff, and then exhaling. Squeezing all that old air out. So again, in mental physics, we breathe in through the nose. You want to make sure your nasal passages are clear. So grab a Kleenex if you need to. I did a neti this morning, but I actually still feel from allergies, I feel a little bit clogged up in my upper nose. And as I've mentioned in the classes before, our nostrils change throughout the day. The left nostril corresponds to the circulatory system, the blood in the body. And as the energy goes in through the left nostril, it goes down the left side. And alternately, when we're breathing in through the right nostril, it corresponds to the nervous system. It goes in and around and down the right side of the body. When we are breathing in today, I want you to think about, not only are we breathing in copious amounts of oxygen, but in the oxygen, in the air, there is also another force, a life force energy that in Sanskrit is called prana. So it goes by many names: chi, prana, sacred or soul force energy. There's all different kinds of words for it. It is the energy that supports our nervous system. It activates our nervous system, and it can be stored up in our brain. So as we're breathing, and we're breathing in oxygen that benefits our circulatory system, in the right nostril, we're taking in prana, the soul food energy, God's source energy that is activating and priming our nervous system. So the 8 key breaths works on the entire endocrine system of the body. And as you continue to go on practicing, you will find your hormones balancing out. You'll have all different kinds of your own experiences just by doing the breath work. It activates more creativity, creative powers within you, improves your health and your awareness, helps to develop inner wisdom and access to the greater, I call it the universal stream of intelligence, the space that all knowledge exists. It allows you to access that more efficiently. So as I mentioned, we have this positive and negative poles of our body because we're like a battery, and we can charge up our battery and store power to help us with our health and wellness and creativity and all those things I just mentioned. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be breathing in lots of oxygen, lots of prana, activating our endocrine system, healing every cell in our body through the practice of the 8 key breaths of the Science of Mental Physics. To get started, we're going to do what we usually do, which is the harmonic or balancing breath. In other yoga traditions, it's just known as alternate nostril breathing, where we're breathing in through the left nostril for the count of 4. We're holding for the count of 16. We're unplugging the other nostril and exhaling for 8. Okay. Let's just practice that one first, and then I'll go into the rest of the information for the next breaths. Okay, so for the harmonic breath, you can be sitting or standing, whichever you prefer. All the sitting positions in mental physics require heels touching to create that 7-fold connection in the body. And if you'd like to just sit in the 7-fold lotus position, that's fine too. However, whatever's comfortable for you. So I'll give you a minute to get settled and blow your nose and prepare yourself for the breaths. There is the thought. So before every breath that we do, we're going to think or say the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. You can say, I thank you, Creative Spirit, thank you, God, whatever resonates with you. The idea is just to take that moment of reverence and gratitude for the breath that is our life, the breath of life. Okay, so for the harmonic breath, we get ready. We're balanced and centered, and we think the thought, thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. We're covering our right nostril, and we're inhaling through the left for the count of 4. And then we're holding for the count of 16. 13, 14, 15, 16. Now we'll unplug the right and exhale for the count of 8. Again through the same nostril, inhaling for 4. Holding again for 16. We use the 2 thumbs because they correspond to the lung meridians in the body. 14, 15, 16. Unplug the left and exhale 8. And again, inhale for 4. Holding 16. Unplug the right, exhale 8. And now one more time to complete the cycle. Inhale for 4. Holding 16. Unplug the left and exhaling for 8. This breath completely balances the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, and it can be done anytime. I recommend doing this one often just to manage stress and to stay calm and balanced in your life. It's very helpful. And now, as we move into the practice of the 8 key breaths of the Science of Mental Physics, there's actually a lot more breathing techniques in mental physics, but we're going, for the purpose of this online class, we just practiced the 8 key breaths that are introduced in the Initiate Group course. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can go to initiategroupcourse.com, or you can also go to scienceofmentalphysics.com, and there's more information about those spiritual lessons that come along with introducing the breathwork techniques. Okay, so the first thing to know is, as I mentioned, in through the nose, big deep belly breath all the way in, and big sniff at the top, holding our air as much as we can in the body, filling our lungs as much as we can. The exhale, well, there's something called the secret switch, which is basically just putting the tongue behind the 2 front teeth, just up on the gums behind the 2 front teeth, resting it there. And this activates an electrical circuit in the body. So for all of the breath work, we're going to be mindful of the secret switch, placing our tongue there. We're inhaling, big sniff, and then the exhale looks like this. The forceful exhale all the way out through the, pushing it with your stomach, pushing the old air out, and then relaxing completely. So inhaling with the secret switch, exhaling it out. It's kind of like a CH sound, and the tongue tries to stay connected, but it flops down because the air is coming forcefully out. So for me, it feels like the tongue tries to stay connected, maybe on the sides of the teeth, and the tongue flops down a little bit to exhale. Okay, and then you might hear myself or Dingle may say, lock it up. That's just retaining that breath inside our body when he says that. The other thing that they teach in many yoga traditions is in yoga Ashtanga, which I took, it is the Ujjayi breath, which is kind of like, pretend like you're going to yawn, and you're like halfway between, in the middle of the yawn, and your throat is really open in there. Can you feel that? When you're in the mid yawn, your throat opens up. That's kind of how you want to be when you're breathing in. There's a lot of things to be conscious of mechanically in doing the breath work, but once you get these down, it'll just become second nature, and then you'll be able to focus a lot more on the air and the oxygen and prana and everything that's coming into your body and what it's doing once you get these mechanics down. So breathing in through the nose with that open throat and the secret switch, and then exhaling, squeezing out the old air. Okay. And then again, the thought, the reverence for the breath of life. So the first breath is the most involved. It's called the memory developing breath, and it will help you with time and practice of this first breath. It will help you to remember who you are and why you're here on the planet, what your purpose is on the planet. And this one, I use this analogy every single time, I guess it would be a metaphor, for this breath, which is like the old pumps, the water pumps that you would pump several times, and then when you would stop pumping, that would allow the water to flow through. So in this breath, the memory developing breath, our body is like that pump, and when we're inhaling, we're slowly, gently, you don't want to hurt your neck, but the head and neck is always loose, and you want to be really gentle with this breath. But as you're inhaling, your head is coming back in a full culmination of the breath, and then the exhale is. So the spine is totally straight. The body itself is not moving. The spine is straight and strong. Only the head is moving, but like I mentioned, nice and gentle. You don't want to hurt your neck. Just like that. This breath is done in 3 sets of 14 and what Dingle calls the final triumphant 7. This breath ignites the 49 fires in the body. Okay, so we will start with our palms downward on the knees with this breath. And then after each breath, I'm going to play the affirmation in the voice of Dingle. So when it's time for the affirmation, we'll turn our palms upward and just sit quietly with our eyes closed, listening to the affirmation. Okay, so for the first breath, the memory developing breath, we get ready. We're in our position. Our spine is straight and strong. Our head and neck is tall and relaxed. Palms are downward on the knees. We pull that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. And up, up. One more. Resting. Relaxing completely. And just feeling after. Science of mental physics is a science of feeling. So we just want to feel inside ourselves right now. Any little phenomenon that strikes our attention. And now as we get ready for 2 more 7s, don't worry about counting. I'll do the counting and I'll let you know. All together, we exhale. And up. One more. Relaxing right down, shoulders are relaxed. Just observing, watching. And now we get ready for our third set of 14. Together we exhale. And up, up. One more. Now breathing in gently and relaxing completely, feeling after. You might feel tingly or hot, cold. Just watch. And now giving it your very best, our final triumphant 7. All together we exhale. And up. One more. And now resting and relaxing completely. Turning our palms upward for the meditation in the voice of Ding LeMay.
And now I imagine that great light at the top of my head. The top of my head is heavy and relaxed. The forehead is heavy. The eyes are relaxed. The muscles of the face are withdrawn. The jaw gently drops. No pressure on the teeth. The arms and the hands are very heavy. But oh, how happy I feel. I feel happy all over, particularly in my beautiful face. My face is bathed in smiles. My whole body is bathed in the blushes of my smiles. I feel a gentle pressure from within, outward. And that gentle pressure is taking away all little lines of fear, care, inward disappointment, anything negative. I feel happy all over. Now I bring the light down. The chest is relaxed. The abdomen falls down. And the light comes down, down, down to the tips of my toes. And now I imagine that great light at the back of my neck. I'm looking down over my beautiful spine. It seems that I'm looking at a wonderful waterfall with the sunshine playing on it, so that I see a countless number of tiny specks of iridescent light. Light! Light! And I know my whole body to be full of light. If thine eye be single, the single eye, the third eye, the inner eye, the spiritual eye, the creative eye, the eternal eye. If thine eye be single, My whole body shall be full of light. And I know that every cell in that countless number of cells in my body is a lamp, a light, a torch, bringing to me the light of the divine wisdom within me. The light being in perfect correspondence with the flame, as the flame is in perfect correspondence with the fire, the fire, the fire that is in the center of centers of centers of centers of my innermost being, the fire of divine love within me, within me. And so, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now, I lock it up. I make it my own as I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Mental physics, breath work is a series of systematic breaths that allows the body to purge anything that is no longer serving it, thoughts, dis-ease, any, illness, anything that's in the body that is not serving the body, mind, is purged out, and space is made to bring in more light. That's the purpose of doing the breath work, is charging up our battery and clearing out anything that doesn't work for us inside our body. The old traumas and things that are stored in our cellular memory. We can purge this out. So if you're new to the breath work, or if you're just getting back into it, I would suggest just maybe starting with the harmonic breath, doing that regularly to stay balanced, and then working with this memory developing breath, just working with one breath at a time at your own pace, so you can kind of see how it works, and how it purges these things out, and paying attention to feeling inside yourself when you're doing this breath work, when you're doing the memory developing breath and you're purging things out. Just going within and feeling that light of the divine wisdom charging up every cell of your whole body. Okay, so now as we move into the next breath, the revitalizing breath or the balancing breath, all the breaths from here on out are done standing. So you want to have some room around you so that you can move your arms all the way around. You want a lot of space to be able to work with. Okay, so find your spot, and I'll go over some of the pointers for the standing breaths. So your heels want to be touching. You're standing like this. The knees are snapped back. The spine is always straight, so that the knees are snapped back and kind of locked out. The legs, buttocks are totally tight. Shoulders are always back and down. The head and neck is always relaxed and loose, but you're pulling downward. So roll your shoulders back and down, and then feel that sensation of pulling downward on the fingertips toward the ground. So it's this interesting sensation of the spine and the head lifting up toward the sky, while at the same time your feet are grounded into the earth and your fingertips are pulling downward. Okay, so everybody get that feeling. This is the position that we'll be using for the breaths from here on out. The revitalizing breath is very simple. It's just breathing in deep into the belly, all the way into the chest, all the way into the throat, big sniff. and then retaining that breath for a few seconds. And then I'll let you know when it's time to exhale. And when you're exhaling, this is a tricky part if you're just beginning. You know, even if you've been practicing a long time, I still struggle with this too. When you're exhaling, you want to keep all that tension in your body. And then when you exhale completely and squeeze all that old air, then you'll take a little breath and relax. So just like in the pumping of the first breath, like the water pump, when you relax is when all of that prana, that chi, that energy can move through your system. And then when we're in the affirmation part of it, we just want to feel what that feels like. What happens to all that breath and that light and that chi that's moving around in our body? What's it doing? Okay, so here we go for the revitalizing breath. Everybody get in position, knees snapped back, shoulders back and down, pulling down on the fingertips. And now pulling that secret switch, placing your tongue behind your two front teeth. And next, the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together, keeping that tension, we exhale. Squeezing out all the old air. Now breathing in all the way deep into the belly, all the way into the chest, all the way up, big sniff. And now holding it, keeping that tension. Your body is straight and strong. I am the master of my body. And now no dropping of your head or your neck, staying straight and strong. I am the master of my body. Now all together, not letting go of that tension, we exhale. And now a little breath and relaxing right down, keeping your eyes closed for the meditation.
Now we relax entirely, coming right down. As I think of, as I feel for the inner meaning, the hidden meaning of these sublimely simple words. I am whole, whole. Nothing is lacking. Nothing can be added. I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. Full power. Every cell in my body is a complete power plant working for me. I am loving. I am that of which the universe is made, moving. I am loving. I am harmonious. In harmony, balance, poise, equilibrium. I am in harmony with the laws of this universe. I am rich. I am young. And now, as if innumerable streams of living light are coursing downward in the body, I am happy. I look happy. I feel happy. I am happy. And so, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, imagining that great golden shower of light going out in all directions, the secret of the golden flower. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up as I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, and now we'll move into the third breath, which is the inspirational breath. The position is the same, heels touching, pulling downward on the fingertips. For this breath, as we inhale, we're going to go nice and slow. We're inhaling up all the way up, and as the breath culminates at the top, big sniff, we're going to put our right thumb under the left, kind of making a triangle at the top of our heads, and this happens very quickly. And then in really rapid fire succession, you'll think success to mental physics, and then success to whatever it is you're creating through that triangle. Backs of the hands together, exhaling in 4 parts. So keeping that tension in the body all the way through the exhale. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, we'll get going into the inspirational breath, and then stay standing for the affirmation after this. Okay, here we go. Pulling downward on the fingertips. Buttocks are tight. Knees snapped back. Head and neck is loose. Pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Squeezing it all out. Now we're inhaling. The arms come up. Not too fast. All the way in, breathing all the way up, big sniff. Right thumb under the left. Success to mental physics, success to you. Backs of the hands together. Now keeping that tension, we exhale in 4 parts. And now relaxing right down for the meditation. Completely relaxing.
Now we relax entirely, coming right down, relaxing the whole body. I thank thee, Lord, for my body, the transcendently beautiful, the infinitely intricate, but the most gloriously accurate instrument in this universe. My body, the temple of the living God, the temple of the God that lives within me, that is alive within me. I stand in reverence. I stand in adoration. I stand in veneration before the wisdom pent up in the very substance of my body. And I pledge myself, I vow, that from this moment henceforward, nothing that I shall eat or drink, nothing that I shall do or say or think, shall injure or abuse this temple of the living God, my body. And so, feeling happy upward, not thinking that I am happy only, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up. It is my own. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, that was great. Now we'll move into the 4th breath, the perfection breath. The perfection breath starts in this position, and then when we get ready, we put our arms out in front like this, kind of a fist with the thumbs resting on the top, nice and straight and strong. And when we're holding our breath, we're going to do 3 swings like this, making our body into the shape of a cross. Nice and controlled. Swing number 1, swing number 2, and swing number 3. And we come back to the middle and then relax the arms down and exhale. Okay, this is called the perfection breath. It's the fourth breath. So we get ready. We're in position, heels touching, pulling downward on the fingertips, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. We get ready in our position. Together we exhale. Keeping that tension in the body, inhaling all the way into the belly, all the way up, big sniff. And swing number one. Nice and controlled. Swing number two. Swing number three. Arms at the sides, we exhale. And then relaxing right down. If you'd like to sit down for the meditation, that's fine. Just stay in the energy.
Now we relax entirely, coming right down. As I prepare myself to think the greatest thought I ever shall be able to think. Whatever the Creator is, I am. Differentiated from all other life forms in this universe. I am the Creator in the human form. The Creator is right here, right in the heart of me, right in the mind of me, right in the substance of me, right in the being of me. Reveal thyself, O Lord of my life, O Lord of the eternal, thou that art the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. Come, I wait, I listen, I am still, I watch within me. And now I will to see the Creator at work within the temple, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now I lock it up. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, now we'll move into the vibromagnetic breath. You're going to need some more space for this, for your arms to go all the way around in circles. So as we are retaining our breath in this one, our arms will just go palms facing each other all the way around 3 times. 3 swings around, and then arms at the sides and exhaling. And again, if you'd like to sit down after this one, that's fine too. Okay, so for the 5th breath, the vibromagnetic breath, we get ready. Our heels are touching and position. Buttocks tight, knees snapped back, everything is tight, pulling downward on the fingertips, and don't forget to think upward from the top of the head, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Now taking in light and life all the way in, all the way up, big sniff. We get ready. Swing number 1. Not too fast. Swing number 2. Swing number 3. Arms at the sides. We exhale, keeping that tension. And then we relax right down, letting that energy move through our body.
And now we relax entirely, coming right down. And now I'm thinking of the loveliest thing I have ever known. The loveliest thing I have ever known. There it comes before my mind, that beautiful picture, perhaps from the long ago, perhaps from the far away, but there it stands perfectly clearly delineated before my mind, as if it happened but a moment ago. I thank thee, Lord, for my memory. I thank thee that I am able to bring back from the vault of the past any beautiful thing that is in my memory. And I pledge myself, I vow, that from this moment henceforward, nothing shall enter my memory. No idea of negation of whatsoever kind. No idea of disease, decay, senility, old age, disappointment, doubt, failure, death. Nothing shall enter my memory, but that which is in unison with all good and my own very highest conception of truth. And there I see my whole conduct. There I see the whole conduct of man. And so I will that that picture shall be lost again in the absorption of my being, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly, and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And then now I lock it up, as I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, doing great. The sixth breath, the cleansing breath, is very similar to the last, except in this breath, we start out with our right hand holding our left hand and pulling downward pulling the arms down, which straightens the spine. And then when we get ready, we unlock and we do 3 swings around with our palms facing downward, and we touch our thumbs behind us like this. So swing number 2, swing number 3, discharging just like that, and then arms at the sides and exhaling. Okay, so the cleansing breath, and then we'll stay standing at the end of this one for the meditation. Okay, so we get ready, position, everything's snapped back, buttocks are tight, pulling downward on the fingertips. And now we get into position. We're holding our left hand with our right, pulling downward, straightening the elbows, which straightens the spine. It's a little harder to get a breath here, but just breathe extra deep. And now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Pulling that secret switch, inhaling all the way in, all the way up into the chest, big sniff. We unlock and swing number 1, palms facing down, keeping the tension. Touch. Swing number 2, touching our thumbs. Swing number 3, touch. Arms at the sides, we exhale.
And now, I imagine a great heat at the base of my spine. I can feel it coming up. It's coming up. And now I imagine a great light that comes from the flame, that comes from the fire, that gives the heat. It's coming up and out, up and out. I imagine a peacock feather of gold in my spine. It's coming up and out, up and out. It seems to strike upon the surface of my body. It seems to go beyond my body, up and out. Now I'm thinking of the top of my head, and I see my whole body to be full of light. The light of the divine wisdom that is in every living thing. And now I will fan the living flame that brings the light, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and along, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up, so I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, we'll move right into the 7th breath. You guys are doing great. This is the grand rejuvenation breath. Heels touching, same position, except in this one, we're going to rest the palms of our hand kind of rested on our hips with the elbows pulled forward. It's kind of awkward. We're going to breathe in, and as we're holding our breath, we're going to drop the head forward and back, forward and back. We do this 3 times, and then we stand upright, and we'll exhale. And then with no air in the body, once we exhale all that air out, we're going to bring the body forward, pulling downward on the head and back, forward and back, and then again forward and back. And when we get upright, we'll take our breath and then slowly drop the hands. If anyone has any questions, you can just unmute yourself and ask them if you need to. Otherwise, we'll get into it. Okay, the grand rejuvenation breath, the 7th breath. We get ready, resting our palms on our hips, pulling the elbows forward, pulling that secret switch. Everything is tight. Now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Now breathing in light, all the way in, all the way up, big sniff. We drop the head forward and back, forward and back, nice and easy, forward and back. And now we stand upright, we exhale. Squeezing all that old air, we bend forward, pulling down on the head and back, forward and back. If you get dizzy, just open your eyes or take a breath. Forward and upright. We breathe in, and then we slowly drop the hands and relax completely for the affirmation.
I am youth. I am youth. I am youth. Now I remember my second lesson. I see before me that picture of my idealized self. I see that luxuriant hair, those sparkling eyes, that beautiful, beautiful face, unlined and happy, rounded neck, strong arms and hands. And now I come down over that beautiful being. I thank thee, Lord, for the truth of my being. I am youth, wondrous, glorious, vibrant, vivacious youth, achieving youth, fearless youth, full of courage, strength, power. I thought my body wore out and grew old, like an old pair of shoes. But now I know, as I stand in the presence, new cells are being made for me. I am being renewed. I sing, I shout, I rejoice. I sing the song of conquest. There is no age for me, no decay, no senility, no death. I am free, free, free from the ravages of time, free from all negation of my own mind. And so, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping, sweeping sigh.
Okay. Now then, the last breath is called your own spiritual breath. This one is done with the feet hip width apart. And it's the same position with the elbows pulled forward. When we're holding our air, we are going to go to the right. Let me see if you can see my feet. So the toes stay touching, but the heel lifts off the ground. So to the right, to the left, heel lifts off the ground, to the right. We do this 3 times on each side, and then we stand upright and exhale and relax for the affirmation. Okay, so 3 times on each side, your own spiritual breath, the 8th breath. We get ready, position, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. All together we exhale. And now breathing all the way in, deep into the belly, all the way up into the chest, into the throat, big sniff. And we get ready to the right, lifting up the heel, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. We stand center, we exhale. And then we slowly drop the arms.
Now I'm thinking upward to the top of my head. I'm thinking joy, 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 joy. And now simultaneously we send it out. I embrace this class. I embrace all in mental physics, wherever they may be. I embrace the city. I embrace the state. And now I watch as I see those great waves of light rolling out, growing of their own nature. I embrace the country. I embrace the whole world. I embrace the whole human race. And now, with the light of the divine wisdom within me, with my love, with my joy, with my life, I embrace every living thing. And now I stand asked, lest the light be too great for me, as it returns to me by that mystic fourfold law, not from the one point from which I sent it, but from all the points. It's coming back, back, nearer, nearer, nearer. And now it embraces me. It embosoms me. It overwhelms me. That light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, so that I know my whole body, this wide universe, to be full of light, light, light. And now I would charge every cell of my physical body with that light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now I lock it up. It is my own. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
I hope everyone's feeling really good, better than before we started. And now, as we go, we just give thanks for this time together, this ability to be together in this new way and practice the breath work and our own spiritual journeys together. We give thanks for this and so much more. Almighty God, an eternal fount of wisdom, please grant us knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, that we speak words of truth, love, and hope. And we ask for light from the higher spheres. May our guides guard and control our mind and tongue, so that nothing but the truth may here be given, and that the good seed sown may find fertile spots to live and grow. And those who are now in darkness and obscurity, may they be brought forth into the radiant sunshine and the joyous glory of the unfoldment of true spiritual goodness. And now as we go, I'm going to do the sevenfold peace chant. Maybe I'll turn around and do it so you guys can see how I do this and you can follow along. Okay, so holding down the energy with the left hand, creating energy with the right. We start at the top of the triangle above our head. Peace. 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 How's everybody feeling? Here, let me unmute you. Let's see if I can. Okay, you're all unmuted.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for being here, practicing with me today.
Oh, it's been a gift. What a gift. I'm so grateful I could send something. When I get more, you're incredible.
Thanks,
You're so,
Elena.
oh, it's the truth. I can't lie. What a great life you are. It's such a great inspiration to be around such wonderful beings of goodness and great. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. It's really wonderful that we can all come together and practice. It's some really stressful times in the world, and you know, every little thing, every little tool in our toolkit helps us to stay happy and joyful. And you know, I really think that's the key. Is life circumstances all throughout history are up and down and back and forth and change and you know, fear and all sorts of stuff. But we are the only thinker in our own mind. So if we can maintain our joy and happiness despite the circumstances, then that is going to allow our body to be as healthy as it can be, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's all
Thank you.
our own duty to do that. So I really do appreciate you guys coming, and you know how to get a hold of me if anybody has any questions. Karen, I'm going to call you later too. I'm so sorry. I've just had a lot of things come up.
Perfect.
All right. You've been on my mind, and I've been wanting to reach out. I just got caught up. So
It'll happen. It'll happen. I'm good with it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was so great. I'm so glad. I was having a hard time getting in. I was off of one email, and then I finally found the numbers and the wellness, so I got in.
Oh, that's
So
great.
Jill and that was Jill. So thank you. Yeah, wow. I love that breath work. Thank you.
It's really powerful. And just a reminder, guys, since you're new to it, well, Elena, I think, has been practicing a long time, but either way, even though I've been practicing a long time, and then if I take breaks and I come back to it, I found myself really emotional for a few days, and I thought, well, this is strange. Where is it coming from? And granted, we have emotions that arise, but when you get back into doing the breathwork practice, like I said, especially that memory development, purges a lot of different stuff from the system. So you might experience any number of feelings, after doing the breath work and everything. So just be aware of that and let it out, let it come up and out, right? Just allow the feelings, the emotions, whatever energy in motion to be in motion. I always think of that emotion as energy in motion. And if it's not in motion, it's stuck. And if it's stuck, we're having problems. So we need to really allow the emotion to move through us. And when we do that, then that just allows everything to flow through. So
I was blessed. Werner gave me this that shows the different breaths. So I was writing on it.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to do them during the week too.
Yeah, you should. And if it helps you, I have on the Science of Mental Physics YouTube channel, there's actually, I made the full breath work instruction in the voice of Ding LeMay. So you can just turn it on and stand in front of your computer and just go right through all the breaths.
Where's that? What's that on?
That's on YouTube on Science of Mental Physics. That's my channel on there. You'll see these videos if you're on the right channel, and I can send it to you too.
I think we went to it once. So it's been there. Yeah, and I subscribe, so I should be able to find it again. Okay,
great. Yeah, I'm trying to dig up as much, material that I feel can help the students right now and put that out there so that, you can have access to that rather than just, me doing it once a week or whatever, because it is great to, especially that memory developing and the harmonic breath. That's really good to do every day, and master one breath and then move on to the next, or you can master one and then chunk the next one on and then practice those two, you know what I'm saying? And then add another one on as you go along.
Right. One second, I gotta grab a pen, but what is the
Hi, I had a question really fast.
Sure.
Hi, are we able to rewatch this video?
You know what? I'm going to, as soon as it's done processing or whatever it does on Zoom, I'll upload it to the YouTube channel.
Okay, thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you feel good.
Yeah, I feel I feel a lot better. I feel more open. It's easier to breathe. I just feel lighter overall.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you so much for showing up today. And yeah, I'm available to answer any questions. If you guys have any, you can email me.
I put some in the chat, but I don't know if anybody sees the chat or.
Oh, I see. You know what? I see it now. We're all just kind of getting used to this online.
All right.
So I do see it
Me
now,
too.
and I'll put it up on the YouTube channel.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you. And I'll be here every Wednesday at 11. We have
Cool.
students. So this is exciting, you guys. I have now students in 74 countries around the world through the online class, which blew my mind. I never even imagined that there's people all around the world practicing, but because they're in other countries, I'm getting people ask, like it's 1 a.m. in India where there's a lot of, it's called Brahma Vidya in India, the breath of life. And then I have another student in Mexico that asked if I could do some night classes. So I'm trying to work that out so I can just, for people who already know the actual breathwork techniques, so I don't have to go into the instruction every single time. Maybe I'll do like a night class where we can just get on and practice, like get right into it. You know what I mean?
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. That's on my mind to do. It's just a matter of creating the time and space to do it because I'm a single mom and I homeschool my daughter and, life. Yeah, life. But I'm glad that I've at least been able to get on and do this, and it's been really rewarding for me as well, just to share it and use it or lose it, right? It's for me too. If I'm not using and practicing it, you're not getting the benefit. Practice makes the progress.
Harmonic breaths. On the harmonic breath, you hold for how long? And
you hold an inhale for 4. And then hold for 16 in the middle.
Hold 16.
And exhale 8. And then again, you inhale through the nostril that's open for 4.
Start with the right one, or does it
matter? Yeah, you plug the right. I start with the right. Inhaling through the left.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Anybody else have any other questions or anything before we go?
I'm good. I'm glad everybody's enjoying it, like I am too.
I'm enjoying it. Yes, ma'am. It's wonderful.
Oh, great. I forgot my opening meditation and prayer. I don't know. I was like halfway through and I thought something's not right. I'm forgetting something. I don't know what it is. Usually I really like to set the tone and do a prayer and everything in the beginning, but I forgot that part. So sorry about that. Okay, well, I hope to see you ladies next week, and I'll put this video up here in a couple hours. I'll upload it to YouTube.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks again for coming. I really appreciate it.
Oh, what a gift.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good day. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.